price is king and time rules right beside it, all right? Price is fact while earnings get adjusted and revised. So in that theme, I've got my crown today. There's a story to where I got this and I'll share it someday. And more importantly, I have got here on my charts the S&P 500 stock components and their upcoming earnings dates here in Q2 2023. So we're going to do something fun here today where I'm going to let the wheel of earnings tell me what stocks to look at and share with you in a quick video, and then we'll dig into the rest in monthly group coaching and more. So in case you're new here, I'm Hema Reddy, and I use price, time, and momentum trading to help boost my trading and that of my tribes. Now, I use TradeStation for my charting and brokerage software, and you can see here that I have got this next earnings date little bit on my chart. Where did that come from? Well, those of you who use TradeStation, you can go into the studies section. You can go to add study, okay? And in that area, just like you would have your RSI power zones, you can scroll up to the N section and you should have, if it's not by default, you can get it from the app library, next earnings date studies. Now what this does is it will pull in on the chart or in the radar screen like I have here, the next earnings date, whether it's tentative or confirmed, and when it's really getting close, it'll have these red numbers. So what I'm doing here is, like I said, taking the wheel of earnings, and I'm going to throw the tickers in that have earnings dates coming up soon. So I'm going to go from DAL down to STT. So to do this, I'm pulling up a free app online called Wheel of Names, and I'm going to go ahead and enter those here into this list. So what this is going to do is make these all eligible to land when the wheel spins, you see? So I'm just typing them in as I go. All right. Almost there. And here we go. STT was the last one that I said. So over the next 1, 2, 5 days, all of these stocks are reporting earnings. And I'm going to pick a handful of them now, do the analysis here for you, and I'll save the rest for my members for us to dig into monthly group coaching next week and in our members portal, all right? All right, so here we go. Here we go. I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to spin. So I'm just going to make this big so it's easy for everyone to see. And here we go. I'm just going to click to spin. There it goes. And we are going to look at, it's right there on the edge. Which one is it? FAST. Okay, so ticker FAST is up first. So all I need to do here is click FAST on the chart. I already have this radar screen, this list of tickers tied to my stock chart. Okay, so I'm not super familiar with how this stock has been trading, but I'm gonna go from top to bottom, guys, starting with the monthly time frame. Okay, so I am pulling up monthly candles. You can plot bars as well, but each candle representing an entire month, right? About 20 trading days. And you can see that just like many markets, it fell in 2022 and has been recovering in 2023. The RSI power zones down below, my favorite momentum indicator, are showing that FAST is lifting up from the bull support power zone, but we are still beneath the most recent lower price high at 56.65. So price high, swing high, and bar high are the three types of highs I look at. Then they have corresponding lows, bar, price, and swing low. Okay, so changing this now to a weekly time frame. Again, with knowing that the earnings date is coming up soon, right? As per the radar screen, it is coming up in 1 day, tomorrow, Thursday, April 13th. And with that, we know that there may be some volatility that fuels the moves in this market. And if it's one that's in your watch list that you pay attention to closely, right? You look at the underlying fundamentals and behavior of the company, you can use that in conjunction with what the price chart's saying, again, because price is king, and bring that into your approach. All right, so when I look at this on the weekly chart, I am seeing that we're in a consolidation now after reaching what looked like a forecasted target. And I can kind of guesstimate that with my eyeballs, but what I'm gonna do is create that forecast and be back with you in a second. Okay, so I've just created a forecast. Now I use the techniques in my loss forecasting trading system to do this, but basically as early as the week ending January 27th on this chart of FAST, you could have had a forecast for price to trade up to 55 or so. Okay, this is just a ballpark, the precise forecasting methods give you the actual to the cent value. And hey, look, that was pretty darn useful. We got up to 55.34. Now, the forecast was for this to happen into the week ending March 23rd. We can see it was met much earlier. Then consolidation unfolded. All right, so with that information, I know that we're in this consolidation after reaching a forecasted price target. RSI power zones are still lifted, being supported by the bull support power zone. Let's look at this on a daily chart to get ready for what may unfold with tomorrow's earnings report. Okay, so now we can see more definition, more detail on this sideways range of this market. I can identify that there's a support level here. So I like to label support in pink and resistance in blue. So this level right here at 50.37 has been shaping the recent price action. Attempted but not touched on March 16th, attempted but not touched on April 6th. Then there is resistance here at 55.34, which again was near the target for the forecast, which was been approached but not hit on March 6th and again on April 4th. So looks like we might be in here for a little while unless something comes in with the earnings release and really fuels this market. Now, another pro tip, guys, is if you are watching a small list of stocks, I highly recommend that you go back and look at the past earning dates, not just the most recent one. In this case, that would be sometime in Q1 reporting on Q4, but also the one that's from a year prior, okay? Because a lot of companies are seasonal in their behavior. I mean, think of like a toy company. That's a classic, right? They make all their revenue in Q4 around the holidays, and then the whole rest of the year is slow. So when you have that in mind, you're going to compare apples to apples. So what you could do is go back to when was the earnings date for this chart back in Q2 of 2022 and compare the action. So focusing in on what's happening right now, pretty clear to me that we're in this range. I want to see if earnings propels this market to break above 55.34 or 50.37, and then we could act from there. Now, one thing we have in our favor to suggest that there's more upside is that there has been an uptrend in place since middle of October, just like in many markets, but it has been with wide swings. All right, so that was one look, and let's go ahead and spin the wheel again and take a look at another. All right, now since we did cover FAST, I'm going to remove it from the list, and we're going to spin again. Here we go, spinning the wheel of earnings. Almost there. There we go, BLK, ticker BLK. So I'm going to pull that up on the charts. Again, it's in the list right here. And BLK, wow, it's second in the list. That reports earnings on Friday, okay, April 14th. Now this is BlackRock. So this is in the financial sector, which has been very interesting lately. But let's pull up the information. And again, just like on FAST, I'm going to go monthly, weekly, daily, but I'm going to go a little bit faster now that you've got the hang of it. Okay, so the monthly chart of BlackRock. And again, guys, even though I know the earnings date, I am not coming to you having done a full workup of the fundamentals of BlackRock. I'm just looking at the price action as a start. Of course, you want to know what's going on with the company news around it, okay? It's not a matter of technicals or fundamentals. It's a matter of both, but you kind of have to pick one to start with first, and I start with technicals because, again, price is king. Okay, so here is the monthly BlackRock chart. Recovery, falling over. We had a little bit of a double top situation here in November and February. So it's not looking so hot, but it's also not in dire straits, not yet. So I'm going to mark up some levels here that I'm going to want to monitor, and I will get into the details of how I created these levels more in our upcoming monthly group coaching live. Right now, I just want to give you the goods, okay? All right, so I have reasons for changing the colors, and now I'm switching to a weekly chart. All right, so BlackRock fell into March 17th, is recovering higher. Notice it came to the bottom of that weekly range that I just plotted out. As I mentioned, we have this sort of double top situation that unfolded. Now I see another forecast that I can use to help figure out how far up this recovery might go. So I'm going to draw that and be right back. Okay, so here it is. This forecast that I just came up with is for BlackRock to continue to recover higher into May 5th. Again, this is on a weekly chart, so we're going to go more granular on the daily. And get up to about $714, okay? So let's take that and move to the daily chart. Now, if I change this chart to a daily chart, if these lines stay, they're not going to be accurate for the forecast. I will have to redo it. Let's just go ahead and make the change. And then I'm going to double check the forecast. So my lost forecasting students, you know how to do this, how to update your forecast if you change a time frame. So I'll do that and be right back. Okay, that was fast. That's because when you change time frames and adapt your forecast accordingly, what changes is the detail of the forecast. It gets more narrow and more specific. So now specifically the forecast is for April 28th. Okay, and the price is still $714.27. So can you see how this can be like a magnet, the pulling on the price up and to the right? Now, the beauty of my forecast is that even if they don't get hit on the nose, I teach you how to make money with them. So you can make money off the misses. All right, now let me kind of step back, sit back in my throne, my desk chair that is, and look at what might be ahead. So I'm going to take off these weekly levels for now, and I'm just going to focus in on the daily chart levels. So up ahead, we have this important resistance at 698.79. It's the most recent lower swing high off of the February decline. Again, swing high, bar high, price high, those are my elemental foundational basics. If you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say that and you want to learn more, keep an eye on your email. That would mean that you have to be in my tribe to get those emails, and stay tuned for some training I'll be doing on that. Okay. Another level I want to look at here that's important support is this little platform here, and 650.79 is the lower of the two. So now, knowing that the earnings date is coming when, guys? April 14th, right? It gives me some perspective on what may unfold. So right now, we are sort of carrying on higher, moving through, and trekking higher off of the March 15th low. So the recovery higher on BlackRock is fine right now. Like there's room for it to go up a little bit higher. But we have what I'm now marked in green as the earnings release date, which may fuel volatility. And either way, as of this moment, the most important resistance is 698.79 and support is 650.79. So there you have it. Okay, I spun the wheel twice and I'll save the rest for my monthly group coaching live. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Wheel of Earnings. And remember, price is king. Earnings get adjusted. So follow the charts and the data to make the most of these market opportunities. I know it's volatile, crazy times, guys, but there are still opportunities. You just have to deploy your methods systematically and strategically to be able to get those consistent profits. Catch you next time.